Thank you very much. I'm Matt Kirsch, CEO of Oji Life Lab. Thanks for being here. We're going to start with a show of hands. Can you raise your hand if you ever studied trigonometry? I actually studied trigonometry with him, so I know he's going to raise his hand. Now, raise your hand if you've used trigonometry in the last month. Impressive. Now we're going to shift gears and talk about emotions. Raise your hand if you've had any emotions in the last month. If you're not raising your hand, you're a psychopath. How about the last 10 minutes? Any emotions? So finally, raise your hand if you've had any formal training in emotions, how to manage them, and use them to achieve your goals. So this dichotomy is why I'm here today. Because emotions are at the core of the human experience, but most of us don't know much about them. So we work in the field of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is a simple concept, though hard to master. It's the ability to recognize your current emotional state and then be able to regulate your emotions to help you achieve your goals. It's not froofy, it's about achieving goals. We start with learning to apply emotional intelligence to ourselves, but then it's also about helping others. So how can we help a child who's disappointed? How can we help a colleague who's anxious? How can we deal with an irate customer? These are all opportunities where cognition isn't really the skill. You need emotional intelligence. Is emotional intelligence important? Well, there have been staggeringly over 350,000 studies over 25 years that show that emotions impact our ability to learn and maintain attention, our ability to make decisions, our performance and creativity, our relationships, and our physical and mental health. So if any of that stuff is important to you, you just found out that emotional intelligence is important to you too. We're often told in the press that emotional intelligence is important. We read articles where we're told that we should use our emotional intelligence. The problem is we read these articles and we think, I don't really know what that is. If it said instead we should use our trigonometry, we would realize we're kind of screwed because we don't remember trigonometry. But how are we going to find this emotional intelligence? Well, that's what my company does. This year we launched our first product called the Oji Life Lab, which is a complete digital solution that helps people in business gain lasting emotion skills. And our focus is on helping people gain habits, not just become familiar with information. It's a different kind of learning challenge. We have customers in healthcare, insurance, accounting, and other fields. Typically, the product's bought by a business leader, whether a learning and development professional or an executive, for a team or for the entire company. And the heart of the Oji Life Lab is an app for iOS or Android that delivers a sequence of micro-learning steps. Users advance at their own pace, working about 10 minutes a day or 10 minutes per step. And it takes several months to get through it, and that's what we actually want. Because if you think about it, thinking about your forgetting curve earlier, you could do a full-day workshop in emotional intelligence. They might have a great lunch, you might have a good time, and you will forget every last thing they say within a month. So we want to space that learning out. So that's at the core of the experience. We combine videos, games, activities, the mood meter tool, and other things to help you learn and retain. Critically, the Oji Life Lab also includes live learning. We have video two-way technology built in, so our learners spend time in group and one-on-one settings with one of our coaches, and that's really critical to allowing people to integrate and consolidate what they've learned. It makes the learning experience more personal and more relevant, and what we find is that our users love it. And finally, the Oji Life Lab includes ongoing support, so the learning continues for the long term. What do our customers like? They like the superior learning model. They would actually prefer to have something that has spaced repetition and spiral learning techniques and that lead to real outcomes. Secondly, they love the fact that we've incorporated world-class research. Our co-founders, Mark Brackett and Robin Stern, lead the Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence. You might have heard Mark spoke this morning, but this is based on decades of research. And finally, our customers love that it's a scalable solution. You can roll it out to 10,000 users easily. There's really no other way to do that. I'm going to move quickly through this. The learning and development market is large and underserved. It's about $140 billion in the US, $300 billion globally. Amazingly, half of all training is still delivered by a person standing in front of a classroom. So our goal at Oji is really to reinvent the soft skills training market. Our first product is the Oji Life Lab, but over the coming years, we intend to build a complete portfolio that really helps across the whole range of soft skills topics, helping to unlock human potential. Hopefully, you've gotten a little passion for emotional intelligence today. We do have a station down in the marketplace area, so if you are interested in learning more or talking, we hope you'll come and see us. Thanks very much.